sitting outside because I'm away. I'm doing a bit of self-love indulging, and I'm having a whale of a time at the beach in KwaZulu-Natal. And it's a little bit bright. I know you can't quite see the sea because it's focusing on me, but it's just on the beach, walking, swimming in the sun, grounding, fresh air, meeting friends, all those beautiful things that we're going to be talking about today, because today we're talking about the physical aspect of self-love and bringing in all the things that we need to bring in order to do all of this. So it's just so exciting. Thank you for joining me. 2026 is a very powerful year. And before we start talking about movement and courage and truth, we need to start where self-love begins, and that's in the body. We can see it, we can feel it, we can do it. We can have those beautiful baths, we can have those beautiful massages, have those beautiful forest walks. So tonight is about rebuilding your physical foundation, so you can move forward without burnout, without overwhelming, and without collapsing. So we're going to need a lot of strength this year in order to get where we need to be. So I'm just going to come back here. Let me start the slides and then you'll see where I'm going. Hey, I'm so happy because we've got fantastic Wi-Fi. So here we go. Let's get back into shape, everybody. A 4-week course. Welcome. I hope you've all registered. It's complimentary. It's free. And this time. And we're going to be really delving into ways to reconstruct the body, the emotions, and life in this year of the heart yang horse. So everything's interrelated. I've broken it down into physical, neurological, emotional, and spiritual. Today we're starting at the birds. We're starting at self-love, getting back into shape and looking at the body. And we're going to be bringing in some physical nutrients. They work in the quantum field anyway, so they will work with physical, neurological, emotional, and spiritual anyway. But I'm going to be showing you specifically now with the intention on the physical, what they're doing. And we're going to bring in my HIELO compass and navigational tool to do this as well. So this course is ideal for people who feel overloaded, depleted, emotionally burdened, and ready to live with greater truth and freedom. And many people believe their challenges are emotional or mental. Meantime, a lot of them are physical, and we can do a lot about that. We can definitely assist the body detox the chemicals that are out there, environmental chemical. There's something like 700,000 that the body needs to deal with on a day-to-day basis. So we can definitely help our body detox that, and we can help the body in terms of the food that we choose. So that's very important too on a physical level. Just to remember that a depleted body that looks like this, that's overloaded, it can't regulate emotions or think clearly. And, you know, with 65 Healthy by Choice, Dr. Jane, I'm always looking at thinking clearly and living productively in all areas of your life. So this slots in absolutely perfectly. So it's more than just positive thinking, self-love. It is actually biological support. The body is the temple, and it's going to carry us this life. So if we move to another slide, let's just have a look here. I thought I'd rather put an overloaded truck than a human, because when we bring in the strength of the yang, the horse, we're looking very much at movement, strength, courage, sunshine. Those are very important elements that are going to support us. And speed and agility, and we're not going to be able to be out of alignment and out of attunement. We're going to have to be very careful that we are emotionally aligned and physically aligned. And you just get that picture of the horse that's galloping and in freedom. the body's in perfect homeostasis. It's just gliding, and that needs to be us. I remember once I went to one of the game reserves in South Africa, for those people who are overseas listening in, and I watched this herd of elephant just move together, almost in the etheric field, in unison, effortlessly, knowing where they were going. And I think the effortless is very important, because we do need to be in the flow. And, when a herd of horses are galloping, that definitely brings in that flow for us, for sure. So let's move with strength this year. There isn't time to wait. I'm going to be focusing on the minerals, the oils, the proteins, and the hormones this time. Specifically, addressing, I'll speak to you a little bit later, but we're going to be looking at Ormus gold, Shilajit, RSC moss, the flaxseed oil, the Replica RNA DNA, stress defense shield, brain fuel, bee, algae, and mushroom mix, because they contain all the proteins and also hormones, which is also made by protein. So this is going to prepare the body for courage and momentum, and the fast movement that we're going to need to bring up this year. So this is the question, and it's in the workbooks as well, is what are you prepared to give up, and what are you prepared to start doing? And I mean, I've made my list. I'm coming on these kind of short break holidays and making sure that, I'm walking the talk and giving my body the best strength, the best foundation for this year, so that I can move with speed. And that means, strong legs, strong central core, strong arms, posture, straight back. So those are the kind of things I'm thinking of. My nutrition is good anyway, and I'll continue on all of that. But it's really to bring in the free items, the sun and the earthing and the air, which I'm doing, and the walking. So I'm going to give up sitting for long periods of time, and rather get up, get on my lymph rebounder, take a 10-minute walk, ground myself for 10, 15, 20 minutes. That's what I'm bringing in. I'm breaking up my diary into those slots. So as I said earlier, we can't be out of alignment here on any level, physically or emotionally. Depletion, that would be chronic fatigue, when the adrenals are really out of alignment, and that's just not going to happen. We're not going to get through it. We have to start building up now. Brain fuel, stress defense shield, these nutrients that are going to help us. So depleted body cannot think clearly. It's emotional overload. It begins physically. That's true. It's also not true, because the emotions are born by the physical. Self-love needs biological support. So we're going to use the HIELO quantum compass that I have, and that's specifically designed to navigate your health holistically. And we're focusing on the body, because without physical support, it's very difficult to move into clarity with neurological, emotional, and spiritual. We need fuel. We don't always need, heavy, stodgy food. I think that's worse, because when you eat a meal like that, you end up with less energy than when you started. That can't be. So we have to eat the high frequency foods, which I've talked to you a lot about, and they're on many of my YouTube channels, on my educational videos there. We need to be bringing in, which I'll talk about, the medicinal mushrooms, the pollens, the pollens, propolis, royal jellies, the blue-green algae, Chlorella spirulina, reishi, chaga, shiitake, lion's mane, cordyceps, the organic sprouts, the organic nuts and seeds, organic fruit. Those are high-level foods, and they're the ones that take us to different places. They're the ones that allow us to deepen into our consciousness, greater awareness. Things like plasma water, that would be spring water, because it's structured. It's already in the fourth phase of water. watermelon, fruit juices, those organic fruit, the juices in the organic fruits that I spoke to you about. Urine is plasma water. If you put water into a blue bottle and you put it in the sun for an hour or 2 or 3 or 4, you're going to get water that's been exposed to cobalt, which is in the blue. You're going to get plasma water as well. And you only need about 1/10 of the cobalt water into a glass of water, and you've got plasma water. So we've got to start focusing on what the body uses. It doesn't use normal tap water. It doesn't use reverse osmosis water that's dead without life force. It uses plasma water. So I'm going to really make a point on that. And we need just enough. We don't want to overhydrate. Take a horse. It doesn't overhydrate. It drinks what it needs when it needs. And think of a horse from a strength point of view. It's vegetarian, vegan. And it's got this kind of strength. I mean, in the past, it was called horsepower. How many horsepower is the motor? The power of how many horses? So we've got to start eating well, eating leanly, eating clean, eating consciously this year in order to keep up. Otherwise, we're going to get depleted and fall way behind. You know, those fast foods, the quick and easy fast foods, drive in, pick it up and eat it. No go. Not for this year. Not going to work. So this HIELO Wellbeing Compass reminds us that everything is connected. And there are many iterative processes where you can repeat and repeat and repeat. And built into this is the benchmark assessment, where we look at what the risk factors are, reset them, restore the body, and rejuvenate the body, and end up with rejoice. We're looking at both physical and emotional purification. The physical purification and reset is done in the quantum field, and the emotional purification is also. So it's very much quantum medicine, which does more than any human brain can do at all. So moving slightly out now to the minerals. This is incredibly important because the minerals are what charge our battery. This year, the battery needs to be charged. We cannot be depleted or flat. We want a powerful body to get maximum energy, maximum awareness and consciousness. So the minerals that do this, the Ormus gold, silver, copper, nickel, palladium, osmium, ruthenium, there are 10 of them, platinum, precious metal minerals. And these get the cellular communication going. They get the charge in the body. They get the electrons fired up. They get the life force coming in. And I'm always on about this. When I go away, what have I got with me? Ormus gold and Shilajit, #1 in my suitcase before I put clothes in or anything. And it's gonna the minerals are for energy production, for resilience, strength, to build up the body. We must get the flow of electrons. Once we've got the flow of electrons and we breathe, then the oxygen and the dynamic electrons bind and produce energy. ATP, CTP, GTP, TTP. All of those. So very, very important. The oils are also extremely important because here we want to bring in an electrical potential. Electrical potential is really critical for certain things. For example, the absorption of food and oxygen through the membranes of the lung, the membrane of the gut. So we got to have that potential. Otherwise, there's not going to be absorption. And, you know, that's really a big problem. For example, in COVID, when they were pumped full of oxygen into the blood. So it never got there on its own. It was forced in. So where was the electrical potential? Most people had a flat battery. So with the oxygen was in the blood, yes, but the minute they then took them off the ventilators, the body plummeted because the cell was not taking up the oxygen or nutrients for that matter. So oil is critical for the brain, the nervous system, for good digestion, lubricates the mucous membranes, as I said. And that's going to bring emotional stability. So we really want to nourish the nervous system, and then we feel safe, and then we can move forward and move in a direction which is just wonderful. And now I'm going to show you what the next one is, which is going to be looking at the proteins. And proteins is a really, really special area. I've actually put the bottles here for you. There's the Ormus. We've got the hormones, male and female hormones, the Replica, the Shilajit, and also the Mucuna. All right, so let's look at proteins now. So imagine I said to you, Replica RNA DNA, here's a bottle of capsules. Inside this capsule, you have every single building block amino acid that the entire body needs. That's a wow. Forget about your protein shakes that have got only these amino acids, these proteins. What about the rest? Here we have, and this is scientifically proven, all 5 building block amino acids: uracil, guanine, adenine, cytosine, and thymine. That's when I said earlier, for the ATP, for energy production and for every single hormone enzyme. Proteins are necessary for growth and repair, for structural renewal. So here we have all in one bottle. We've talked now about the Ormus Gold, the Shilajit. We've talked about the flaxseed oil in the suitcase when you're taking your going on your lifestyle holiday, and you bring the Replica RNA DNA. It's on my shelf here. People who visit me on holiday, and they know they see it. I wouldn't go anywhere without this. Even more importantly, it restructures your genetic code. So wow, we don't need to look too far to bring in some self-love. The hormones and neurotransmitters. Let's go deeper now into these. The male and female hormone balance that I designed here is for all hormones, not just the sexual hormones, the brain hormones, the adrenal hormones, the pancreas, the liver, the digestion, the thyroid. All of them. It's balancing all of them. I've got building blocks and helper plants and nutrients inside. So I've got a little diagram here on all of these. That's all taken care of. And it's not forcing the body. The body will take what it wants when it wants and discard the rest. How fantastic is that? That's how it should be. And then we come to one of my other favorites, the Mucuna Pruriens on my shelf. This one is natural serotonin, dopamine, GABA, PEA. Now, the importance of the neurotransmitters is it's like a generator. It keeps the brain fired up. So it keeps the brain amplitude, the wavelength of the brain. Blue light from screens depletes dopamine. So I really bring the Mucuna in to make sure dopamine, serotonin levels are in line. Stress will deplete serotonin, dopamine, GABA. GABA is essential for the electrical storms in the brain to calm them down. So people with epilepsy are normally very low in GABA. So bringing that in, PEA, phenylethylalanine, and more. I've just mentioned a few here. That is just a godsend as a product. We use it also for Parkinson's, neurological disease, especially also after chemo and radiation when the nerve endings are shot. So it's a stress adaptogen. It grows with the cacao plant in the forest. So it's the anti-stimulant to cacao, which is the stimulant. So here we've got just a wonderful product. All of these now boosting mood, motivation, your drive. Often people feel apathetic. That's the problem. That's the problem with neurotransmitters being low. So we've also got to have a look at the emotional impact, because it's all integrated, it's all related, it's all one. The body is completely interconnected. When the body is supported, then the emotions can settle much easier. When it's depleted, when there's too much alcohol, too much medication, too much lack of sleep, too much blue light, lack of exercise, too much sitting, and I can go on, the body's depleted. And the emotions are going to be worse. You get more angry, more tired, more outbursts. The dog barking next door is worse than usual. So when we're in the sun, we're exercising, we're moving, the body starts secreting endorphins, the serotonins, the dopamines, the GABAs, etc. They're called endorphins. Serotonin is the happy hormone. We'll talk in another time about microbiome reset, which is a probiotic which gets the body to produce serotonin in the gut, as well as dopamine and GABA, as well as vitamins and things. But microbiome reset is essential. So many emotional struggles soften once the physical depletion is addressed. Much easier. The electrons are moving much faster. There's much more life force for transmutation. And things move much, much, much quicker. So let's have a look now at lifestyle support and see what we can bring in here. And this is where you can, make your notes in your workbook as well. And what we're giving up and what we're starting to do. We've got to bring the nourishment in. It's just a fact. It's a physical fact. But bear in mind, when you eat, you need to be emotionally calm. If you stressed, the food will be toxic for you. If you eat after sunset, the food will be toxic for you. So bear that in mind. Yes, the food must be healthy. And you wash it. You wash it in the oxygen drops. But your state of mind needs to be wholesome when you're eating as well. You eat slowly. Bring in the movement, the walking, the exercising. Write your notes down now. Bring in the sunshine, the earthing, the fresh air. Conscious breathing. Spending your time in nature. Letting the electrons, the negative ions from nature feed you. There's a beautiful dune forest walk down here. I've just been indulging myself in this. Just beautiful. Resting, reflecting, time out. So we're looking now at moving to affirmations for week 1, which is going to be in the workbook for you as well. And the affirmation, I choose myself first. I've been on since the beginning of January, focusing on positioning your own well-being first this year. It is absolutely critical. It's crucial. You cannot help others if you're not helping yourself first. And nourish my body with respect and awareness. It has to be top of the list. Has to be top of the list. If you've got anything you want to share, please put it in the group, in the chat. The intention. So in this year of the Heart Jam Horse, we can't overlook this. It's integral. Self-love means aligning your body, emotions, and you can move forward with courage and truth. So in the workshop, all of those of you who've signed up are going to get this. All right. The 4 live webinars. This is the first one. A workbook with weekly pages. It's starting tomorrow because I'm going to download and send out this replay. Weekly PDFs on various subjects for you to keep a whole big folder together. Daily WhatsApp guidances, affirmations. And those of you who want an optional assessment, as I said in the video, come and get a Q450 or an NQB quantum assessment so that you can benchmark where you're starting physically, emotionally, neurologically, and spiritually, and you can measure your progress at the end for those who want to. You will know and feel different anyway, but you can also factually measure it. You can benchmark it. So that you would get on my website under Book Center. And this is for in-person and virtual. I'm doing both. You book your half an hour, your hour, because that's very useful. There are 4 modules: building the foundation, restoring flow and courage, releasing the burden, and living from the heart, broken down into physical, neurological, emotional, and spiritual. So what's in store? Next week is the restore the flow and movement. The week after will be detox and truth. And the last week will be ending with nourish and integration. And I will be talking about physical and emotional purification. So my question is, are you ready to choose yourself fully? And you can register for the complimentary course on my website. There's a big image there. You click on it and I get the email straight away. So we're starting tomorrow. As soon as I've grouped everybody together, around about the afternoon, you can expect the worksheet to come out, and then daily affirmations or guidance or a PDF, something to keep you moving along the lines of self-love. Let's get back into shape. So thank you so much for listening. And I'm really excited, and I'm walking the talk, as you can see. And it's just going to be the most beautiful 4 weeks ever. What a start to 2026. And I'm all ears, and I'm available. Direct message me on WhatsApp if you need to. I will just put it in the chat for those of you who are new. It's +27 83 459 6208. Good. And we're really blessed because we've got fantastic Wi-Fi this evening. So go and have the best evening and the best rest, reflection, and start making your notes and be ready for tomorrow. See you next week for week 2 live webinar.